Hello. Welcome to my weekly show, My Top Tips, every Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. IST. Today, I'm doing it a little earlier because of an early meeting with client. The topic today is third party risk management, TPRM in short. I've spoken on this topic earlier also, but with time, my understanding has been going up, increasing. At the same time, focus on this domain, focus on this area, importance of this area is increasing and is being understood better by everyone, by clients also. So I thought of doing a little more on this. Third party risk management, TPRM. My next book, my 10th book, my experiment with third party risk management. I've just started writing it. And the target is to release this globally on 30th of October 2024 this year in London at the BCI World Hybrid 2024, where I'm speaking also on this topic. And that's the reason I decided to write and launch a book on this topic. To start with, we will have to look at the types. Types of third-party risks. So operational risk, it may be compliance risk, it may be financial risk, or strategic risk, or reputational, or cybersecurity, or ESG risk. So in short, we can easily admit this, that whatever risks can happen to us can happen to our third parties also. As simple as that. Even if I'm showing only few here. But it's very clear to me, whatever can happen to me, whatever can happen to you, can happen to our vendors also, to our third parties also. The challenge is that my third party, your third party may have a third party risk of their own, which now we call fourth party, and the fourth party may have its third parties. So this is how it goes deep. And no one is perfect in this world. No one will be able to reach that depth on day one. But for many, most, that day one has already gone when we started our business continuity journey, for example. Or it could be enterprise risk management journey, or it could be resilience journey. This topic actually is more important for those experienced companies. Those who have 10, 15, 20 years of BCM journey, or even if certified BCM journey, they now need to focus more on third-party risk management and then need to go deep into fourth, fifth, and sixth parties. I said vendor in between. Well, the topic is third party. So the first point to understand, to be able to work upon this, or to be able to do better on this, is that we need to understand who are those third parties. And first will be the vendors and suppliers and partners, all including put together, are called third parties. So we need to do whatever we do in TPRM for these three entities: vendors, our suppliers, and our partners. This show is called Top Tips, and the intention is always to keep within 15 minutes, while sometimes I have gone beyond that also. So I'm only able to touch upon topics here. And that's why it's called top tips. And that's one of the reasons that I've been writing books, because I get more space there. So the book will deal with all these in depth. As of today, you can understand that these are most likely the chapters in the book. So I will be talking about frameworks and standards also. There is a regulatory landscape. For example, guidelines or act or regulations like GDPR, CCPA, and some industry specific, for example, Bank of England, Central Bank of Ireland, RBI, Reserve Bank of India, have issued guidelines, policies with respect to operational resilience, where third party risk management is one of the focus areas. So it may not be an act, it may not be a regulation, it may be a guideline or guidance in different countries. Known to me, about 10 countries have specifically issued guidelines around operational resilience. Then there are some standards and frameworks to be followed. The topic itself is third party risk management. So we can look at ISO 31000, which is once again a guideline document. It's not a certifiable standard. Or we could be following COSO, generally for enterprise risk management. And there may be other guidelines framework like NIST cybersecurity framework issued from the US. There may be some country specific. There can be some industry specific guidelines, standards, regulatory requirements, etc. As of now, our focus is just on third-party risk management, TPRM in short. There may be some other good practices like we need to initiate this program if we do not have. Chances are that many organizations have TPRM department, perhaps a person or a team focusing on third-party risks, but not necessarily running this as a program. The moment we say program, at the very high level, we can understand that there has to be a policy, some procedures, some guidelines, plans to follow. And program means that it will continue forever. There will be investment of time, money, and effort. And for that reason, there should be monitoring and effectiveness should be checked. So slowly then it is becoming or pointing towards making it a program. Every organization may like to do risk assessment management differently. So there may be a risk assessment management methodology specific to organization and specific to third-party risk management. Then this register needs to be created, reviewed, and maintained. It's a journey. Some risks will go down, some risks will come up, some risks may disappear, some new risks may appear. So it's a continued journey. Having understood the concept, then we would go deep into implementation and integration. So we'll have to build a TPRM program, as I said earlier. Steps to develop and implement a TPRM program. How would we do that? We start with policy, which is the intent that we want to do this, to be followed by strategy and plans, which would contain this how portion. Then we may like to use technology. There's nothing wrong in using technology. And in a moment, we'll talk a little more about technology in TPRM. And then needs to be part of the overall ERM program. So ERM, BCM, and TPRM will go hand in hand. If we spend a little more time, we may be able to link TPRM with our ESG and sustainability programs also. When we will say we are running ESG program, we are running sustainability programs, but because we have vendors, third parties, so let's talk to them also. Let's look at what they are doing. A very important step is due diligence and onboarding of third parties, specifically perhaps a little more important vendor onboarding. So I will in the book, we'll have more space and we'll write at length the process of conducting due diligence, onboarding, as well as service level agreements, SLAs. The moment we talk of SLAs, I also make a statement that SLAs are not for BCM. SLAs are for BAU, business as usual condition. When there is no disaster, we are happy, healthy. So during BCM, please do not expect me to meet SLAs. Oh, that's a new challenge you are throwing up. Hold on, there is a solution to that as well. I recommend writing another set of SLAs. So two sets of SLAs, one for BAU and the other for BAU. And we understand BAU SLAs will be a little relaxed. So if I, as vendor, want to have with my third party, so I become a customer to them. If I am vendor, I have some customers. Assume you all are my customers. I want you to be reasonable and practicable with me, which is if I have gone through a disaster, I have invoked business continuity, please do not expect me to live to the SLAs. Then I need to pass on the same concept and approach to my vendors, my third parties also, that I need to be reasonable and practicable with them. And for that reason, you should have second set of SLAs with me, SLAs for BCM. And I should do that with my third parties. And then repeatedly, it's not one-time activity. So continuous monitoring is required. How we will do that? So once again, that's why there has to be a plan or process or procedure, plan and process and procedure, whichever way we can understand. Good to have audits also, which may be internal, which may be third party external as well. And then for monitoring, it's always good to go through data. So looking at the KPIs. This KPI metrics, very easy to say once again, but it has to be a thought through process once again. In the book, I will be writing in depth. Quickly, when we talk of metrics, what will be monitored? Who will monitor it? How will it be monitored? What will be the frequency? What data will be collected? How will that data be collected? What analysis will be conducted? What reports will be developed? Who will receive these reports? And how will these reports be used? So metrics itself is a program in itself. Needs to spend a lot of time, money, and effort on that. Well, talking of TPRM, third party risk management, it's always good to learn from others also. And there are various ways we can attend conferences. As I said, in BCI World Hybrid 2024, 30th and 31st of October this year in London, one stream is on supply chain management, including I am also speaking on this topic there, where my next book, 10th book, will be launched globally. There may be webinars. This is a small program just with 15 minutes, my top tips. A longer version of this may be called a webinar, and we can learn from webinars also. We can do online search and research. We can learn from their books, including I will be releasing one book on third-party risk management in October. Blogs, many people do that. There is a lot available on my website also. And learning from cases and case studies. In the book, I will include at least 10 case studies from 10 top industry sectors in the world. A quick look at emerging trends and future of TPRM. Risk management in digital transformation. The whole world is moving towards digitalization. So we cannot ignore that during TPRM also. So we need to look at its impact on TPRM. The way the world is changing, organizations are changing. We are changing. Our third parties also would be changing. So we need to look at the impact of this to be able to manage it effectively. Then we cannot close eyes to artificial intelligence today. Leveraging AI and machine learning in and for TPRM. Need to talk of resilience and business continuity going hand in hand. So we need to integrate TPRM with business continuity as well as crisis management and response. There is a possibility that I go down, my organization goes down. So my business continuity program, my resilience program will be handy. There is a possibility that nothing wrong with me, my organization, but the third party goes down, due to which my business gets impacted. So this is why all programs, business continuity program, operational resilience programs are asking to go deep into third party risk management, where we are attempting to go to fourth, fifth, and sixth parties also. And future of TPRM, according to me, looks like this, that risks keep changing. One of good practices that I follow, coming up in the next slide, which will be the closing slide also, we need to focus at what is happening in the world around us, what is coming up, or that term called horizon scanning. And then need to look at innovation in risk management, tools, technology, including artificial intelligence, etc. While concluding, I'm showing these two slides from the Global Risk Report 2024 by World Economic Forum, WEF's Global Risk Report of this year. Supply chain, third-party risk management appears to be at third or fourth position focus area. So that supports our approach or thought process that we need to focus more on this. If you have any questions about this topic, TPRM, or total overall about resilience, please feel free to write to me at any moment and I'll be happy to respond. Logging off, your host, Daman Dev Sood, from my weekly show, My Top Tips, every Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. IST. I look forward to seeing you again next Wednesday also. Thank you. Bye-bye.